I have my menu sitting up here, and I'm going to start using pork tenderloin. I put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes. Well, not a couple of minutes, a few seconds, just to defrost it a little bit. Now, I'm sorry, I am going to be having my back towards you. I'll try to talk up to make sure that you can hear me. What I need to do, and I've never made this before, this is a new recipe to me, so bear with me as I read it. To make sure that's... Alright, now, we need 1 tablespoon of olive oil in my pan. I am using my cast iron pan. I have 1 tablespoon of oil in there, olive oil, and then I need 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm not going to measure it, I just kind of know that's about a tablespoon. I'm going to put that in my pan. Now, I don't have a garlic bulb, so what I'm going to do is use minced garlic. And I never really saw this. Right here it says half a teaspoon equals approximately 1 clove of garlic. So, if I'm supposed to use the whole bulb, there's probably 6 to 8 cloves in there. So that's how much of this I'm going to use. Let's see. And I have 1 contact out, 1 contact in. Funny recipe here. Okay, so in a deep skillet, I'm putting my olive oil and my butter, and I'm going to let it heat up, and then I am going to put the pork chops on there. Okay. These are not frozen, but still a little bit. Now that one there's almost a little bit frozen on the middle. Actually, take this, so that way I don't have to goop up my hands. Okay. Now I am going to cook these for about 3 to 5 minutes, just to sear them as the recipe calls for. Okay. That one's not working with me. I'm going to let that, it says to season with salt and pepper. I don't want to use salt, so I will use pepper. Excuse me. Forgot to grab my pepper. Oh, it's so hard to pop open. There, I'm always afraid to break a nail. So I'm going to put the pepper on there and let that do its thing. And these on a plate. It looks pretty good. This is called searing your pork. So that looks really good. It is not fully cooked. I'm going to set that there. It is going to continue kind of cooking, but I will put it back in the pan in a bit. I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon of butter to the pan. There's a little bit of renderings in there from the meat. I still have a little bit of olive oil and butter in there. And now I'm going to add the garlic. I'm going to turn this down a little. To do the meat, I had it on a medium-high, high-medium. I'm turning it down to medium. I'm going to do 4 teaspoons of garlic. A little bit heaping. 4. Okay. Let's say that's about 8 cloves or 1 whole garlic bowl. Now that the garlic there. The garlic is going to get browned. The little pieces of meat that were on the pan are going to come up. And I'm going to bring the camera to a different position. Good, I'm going to turn that down. Alright, next Grab my menu here, my recipe. Alright. I turn the heat down and I'm cooking and I'm stirring this for about 3 minutes. I'm going to push the garlic. I think that is plenty. It smells so good. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. Grab my knife. There. Get that good garlic in there. The meat renderings. I'm going to push the garlic off to the side. And then I'm going to put a tablespoon of flour in. This is going to make a roux. Okay. Mix that around. That's going to make your gravy thicken up. To add my chicken broth and my lemon juice. So I didn't want to open up a can of chicken broth just for half a cup. So I used, oh, that's hot, steamy hot. So I did use my powdered. I'm going to turn this down more. It seems like this is really hot. I don't want it that hot. And my lemon juice, I need just half a tea. Half a teaspoon of lemon juice. Not a lot at all. I know. I'm going to add heavy cream and garlic powder. The heavy cream, I need 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to open up my cream and add this. I've been wanting to use this cream up too for quite a while. What did I say? 3/4 of a cup. So I think that's going to take just about all of it. For that looks delicious. Ooh, and it smells so good. My gracious. I love the smell of garlic. I think Rod and I are going to love this meal. Okay. Everything from the side. And then my recipe says with the garlic powder, I need 1/4 tablespoon. As I drop flour all over the place. Now it's funny to add garlic, minced garlic and garlic powder, you might think, but I do that a lot in recipes. I will add garlic powder and real garlic, or onions and onion powder. It just gives it another flavor, another kick. Okay, I'm going to add the pork back into this, and it's going to finish cooking in the juices. That is a really good looking gravy. Okay, add this in there. Now it does not say to put it in the oven, but I believe I will do that to make sure that the meat is fully cooked. I'm going to pour those greases in there, juices. I want to make sure the meat is fully cooked, so I am going to put it on, excuse me, in the oven. And then, alrighty, I'm going to let it do its thing right here. I'm going to flip them over. Alright, that is going to cook up good. My gosh, that looks amazing. The mess I made. That's alright though, look. This is behind the scenes. I need to figure out how to do my menus, my recipes, so I can read them properly when I'm on camera. Maybe getting a magnifying glass. maybe a magnifying glass would help because I can't see very well. Of course, today I do have only one contact in. Alright guys, okay, I decided not to put this in the oven. I read a little bit more on the directions and they give you some hints. And it says that as long as your pork chop is cooked to 145, you'd be fine. So I put the thermometer into the thickest part, and when I read it, it said 140. So, woo! I want to show you again. Still a little low, so I'm going to leave this in for just a few more minutes, and I think they'll be ready. I keep flipping them as well. Yeah, a lot of times I make pork chops not good. They're too dry. A lot of times I make my pork chops too dry, so I'm glad I read further and saw those tips. So yeah. I'm going to just let this sit. I did cover it maybe about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to let it set now and then shut it off. Okay guys, this meal is done, or the meat is done anyway. This is a meal for another day. So I'm not going to cut into the meat, into the pork, but I am going to try the sauce. It looks so good. Smells delicious. Okay. That is super good. That is really good. Thinking. I want to try the recipe again with the actual garlic instead of the minced garlic that I used. I think there'd be more of a flavor of garlic. That is super good though. I love it. For me, I need to add salt to it. I don't like to add salt to my meals because salt is really overpowering. And if you don't like salt, or if you are sensitive to salt and you only use a little, I put too much in. So, I would put salt on my meal. I think I'll serve this with mashed potatoes and a vegetable. It's going to go in the refrigerator right now. When I do bring it out and plate it up though, I'll show you. Okay guys, there it is. Tonight is Thursday. I'm having the pork chop, some mashed potatoes, carrots and onion.